What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Book entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father. Amazon Kindle Create Space. Don't be afraid of risk. High risk, high reward. I ain't saying doing nothing criminal. I'm just saying, don't be afraid to actually do the things that you say you always wanted to do. You know, take this on a different, a lot of different angles. For you guys who have trouble approaching women, all she can tell you is yes or no. She's either going to give you her number or she's not. Don't be afraid to ask. Won't hurt. It's not like you asking for, you know, a social security number or blood, It's DNA swab, like it's high risk, high reward, or just risk and reward. Don't be afraid of that, you know. As far as drive, ambitions, don't be afraid to do things. You're gonna have to put the time. If you want to do something, you're gonna have to put the time in to get it done. So if you have a dream is in your mind, a goal is what you put on a piece of paper. Because you constantly remind yourself. Because few of us can have a goal in our mind and actually, timeline and scratch it off. So I would say write it down. But the thing about it is, if you set a goal, don't be afraid to pursue that goal. I mean, what do you got to lose? You know, the fear of embarking on a new journey. Maybe you're not happy where you're at. Well, start setting in motion to do something that makes you happy. What can you lose? There's usually more to gain from your risk than there is to lose, because a lot of people are scared of taking a risk, but they're already in a losing situation. So it's like taking that risk equals a reward. You're gonna get something out of it. Sometimes it can be an achieved goal. Sometimes it could be monetary. Sometimes it could be just self gratification and self confidence to let yourself know you was able to do something that you set out to do. But don't be afraid of the risk, you know, because a lot of times you have no way of knowing how successful you'll be without taking that risk. Because the risk ain't necessarily about um, what happens if it fails. The risk is about who are you and what chances are you willing to take. You know, there are a lot of successful people and unsuccessful people who've taken risks, but neither the successful people or the unsuccessful people live in regret of taking the risk. Like, they know, okay, for me this worked. For me, that didn't work. But if I take this risk again and I do it this way, I've learned from my mistakes. We're gonna all make mistakes. It's just part of life. Um, Same thing with parenting. You know, sometimes you got to take a risk. You got to create a memory that lasts forever. It is what it is. Um, some of y'all, some of us, um, think it's over. You know, I'm too young to do something. That's not, no, you're not too young to do anything. Take the risk. Some of us think we're too old to do things. No, you're not too old to do anything. Take the risk, you know, because if you don't take the risk, you're just going to be sitting there getting older, wondering what if. And that's not a way to live. I can honestly say, like, I sleep very well at night, because whether I succeed in things or fail, it's not like I never attempted things. Some things I succeeded at quickly, some things I failed at and persisted to do anyways after the fact because I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna get this done. I learned from that mistake. It became a challenge. But I've been afraid to take risk, but you manage your own fear because once you take the risk, you realize it was really nothing to be afraid of. Like the fear of the risk is more paralyzing than actually the what you than the actual risk itself. Like if you was public speaking, people are scared of public speaking. But once they get on the podium and they start talking, it's like, I don't even know what I was scared of. People are scared of I don't know, some people may be scared of investing, and then you try it, and you make a little bit of money at it, and you're like, what was I tripping about? The fear is usually of the unknown, and sometimes, you know, some of us are scared of success. We're not scared of the risk at all. We're scared of the reward because some of us don't. It's better to dream about being successful than to actually be successful for some people. So it's like, it's better to think that the girl didn't want you than to the girl to actually say she likes you, and now you're dating her and you're trying to keep her. You know, it's different, very much so different. And after a while, you realize that what's more important, risk or reward? Because between your birthday, that dash between the year you were born and the year you die, you have to make that mean something, you know. And to make that mean something, you have to be able to take the risk, the chances. The people that go to college or go to the military or go to trade school or go or embark on a different type of journey, it all started with a risk. They were willing to take a risk. They were willing to step out there on faith and put their money where their mouth is. And they were willing to suffer the bumps in the road along the way because it's a risk that's worth it. Like personally, I don't see the problem with taking a chance. You know, be reasonable with yourself. Don't do anything unreasonable, but don't be afraid to take a chance because it might lead you down a path that takes your life in a direction that you probably never thought your life would go, and it'll probably end with you living the dream instead of dreaming the dream. So it's just my opinion. Yeah.